What's going on, guys? Rob at 3STRONG. Tonight I'm going to talk about the overhead press. The overhead press, in terms of the big barbell strength movements, the overhead press should not be excluded with movements such as the bench press, the deadlift, and the back squat. It's one of the top 4 big strength movements. However, the overhead press is one of those tricky positions because in the bench press, when we're doing a bench press motion, we don't really need to be terribly flexible to allow this to happen. This is a relatively short range of motion. We're not really stretching too much in the chest and the shoulders, not really getting too much of a stretch in the lats. However, when we go overhead now, if we have tightness here and tightness here, our overhead press is going to look something like this, not this. Have you guys ever seen the Olympics? Happens every 4 years, I'm sure you have. And then they always show the gymnastics. We love all the gymnastics. But if you see them do a handstand, what does their handstand look like? They're not like this. They are perfectly straight, perfectly vertical, straight line all the way from the wrist, down the shoulders, all the way to the back. That is a very stable position. Even if you watch the Olympic weightlifters, they are getting that bar overhead and they need to be as solid as possible. And this is what you need to do when you get overhead. One of the things I'm going to note, if you're doing overhead press and it's hurting your back, let me tell you why. Your shoulders are tight. When you press overhead and you look at that weight, what did I just do? Notice how I have a nice big arch in my lower back. I'm getting up overhead. And for that bar to stay over my center of gravity, if I was to keep my upper body nice and tight and rigid and my shoulders only allowed me to go up to here, can you guys see that that weight is actually over nothing? So if I press out here, the heavier weight I go, I'm not going to be able to hold it because I have nothing under it. If I have the shoulder flexibility and the core strength to be able to drive up overhead and get that weight over, I now have a very stable position. Everything is stacked vertically, and now I can handle a lot more weight. Okay, so if you can't get into a overhead position like this, I want you to go to my stretching video showing the chest stretch and the lat stretch, and that's going to help you get into a better position. But knowing what position you need to get into is the most important thing. So let's grab that bar. You can get it out of a rack, but really you're just going to get into this position. Notice how my elbows, much like in the bench press, elbows are underneath the wrists. I have a nice firm grip on that bar. And even from the side, elbows underneath the wrists, forearms are vertical, so that when I press up, I'm pressing straight up. I'm not getting the elbows out. I'm not changing those angles. Elbows underneath, driving up, getting underneath the bar. Now look at that. I'm still in that vertical position. What's allowing me to do that? Squeezing my shoulder blades back. Getting those shoulder blades to sit on the back of my rib cage and then letting the arms do the work. Same thing with the bench press. If you want to watch my bench press video, I talk all about it. If I show you guys from the back here, even though everything is forward, I can squeeze my shoulder blades back and then I hold that and I drive up overhead to lock out, still keeping the shoulder blades back. I bring the bar straight down to my shoulders. Okay, I don't want to shrug up. And notice how I have all this motion here. That's going to lead to those shoulder impingement issues. Okay? So grab that barbell, get those shoulder blades set, drive straight up through the elbows, push that head through so your shoulder blades are squeezed back, stay nice and tight, bring it right back down to the shoulders. Okay? Hopefully that helps, guys. Start overhead pressing. And don't do any of this crap, man. You're going to mess yourself up. I don't even want to go there. Anyway, see you tomorrow.